Hey, what's up? I'm testing the live streaming ability using my Starlink connection. We're gonna do some hand engraving. It's really boring to watch though. So I see people there, but I don't see how I can view the chat. It should be right here, but I don't see anything. So somebody type something. Let me know if it's working. This is the first time I've tried to stream from out in my garage, and first time I've tried to stream from the new. Hey, Dejan, how's it going? So here in a minute, I'm gonna be doing some copper plate engraving, but I want to put the link out there for this so other people can join. Except the internet out here in my garage is not great. Right on. Is it streaming okay for you? Is it smooth? Is it hiccuping? My compressor is really loud. I should probably. I don't know. Tell me if that compressor is just like blowing your ears out whenever it kicks on. It's not on right now. Right now, you're probably just hearing a slight buzz from the the engraving machine. Let me send out a tweet here and get this link out there. My poor computer is just on its last battery leg here. Even just loading Twitter is just barely working. Oh my goodness, this is taking forever. There we go. Hey, what's up, folks? I'm going to be doing some copper plate engraving momentarily. Right now, I'm just kind of putting the link out there for people to come and watch. All right. So this is out there. Hopefully, we'll get some people here to join up in a moment. And that'll be fun. There's the compressor. Let me know if that is just like blowing your ears out. Okay. Stupid computer is done. Let's get this iPad set up so that you can see what I'm doing here, because you can't see anything right now. And that's no fun. I want to be able to see. Oh boy! Moving heavy stuff here. There's something. Let's get you over here. Oh, so many cables and stuff in the way. You can hear my engraving machine. Let's see. Well, you can't see that, can you? That's just way too blown out. And there are no tools for adjusting brightness in the Apple iPad interface. Let's get you guys set up at a different angle. Somehow differently. How we're gonna do this. That's what would be nice right there. Something like that. But I don't really have a good way to make that happen. Maybe I'll just tape. I bumped the power button on the iPad. Hey, there's my crotch. That's not what we want. This is harder than it looks. Trying to find an angle where y'all can see the actual plate there, because right now y'all can't see nothing. Y'all can't see nothing. But in my case here, if I turn it down, the case gets in the way, which is unfortunate because it would be right there. It'd be nice and pretty. I wonder if I can just kind of rig it in something else. Boy, this is real shit show, huh? Well, this is a problem. You can't see anything. It's a big problem. Maybe I'll tape it to something. I mean, that right there would be perfect if it would stay. I couldn't see your comments. Oh, you know what? I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot. Jeez, I'm an idiot. Sometimes I wonder why I'm allowed to live and reproduce. We can do that. Focus. Focus. All right. So, if you have questions, type them out. I can't see them, unfortunately, while I'm working. But you can see what I'm doing. Let's see if maybe I open it up on my phone or something if I can see. All right, let's see here. Yeah. All right, now I can see y'all on my phone. If you have any questions, let me know. I am going to just start doing some engraving work here. Right here, what I'm doing. Well, you can't see that. Let's put you up here. There you go. You can see a little better there. So right now I'm doing some cross-hatching shading. Go. Let me know if you got any questions. If you want to see anything specific. I wish it focused better, but you know, that's just the way things are. Right now I'm doing some crosshatch shading on all this lettering here. I'd say it's tedious, but the entire process of engraving is an exercise in tedium. So it's no more tedious than any other step. The hardest part right here. Well, it looks like I was disconnected, but I'm reconnected now. So let me know if y'all got questions, and I will I'll answer them. We'll see. All right, here we go. that coming through? Is it coming through smooth? I wonder if I can zoom in. Ooh, I can. Working right here. We'll zoom into there. Where was I? Oh yeah, here I am. Adding some shading around these letters. Somewhat emulating a raised surface. Hopefully. I mean, I don't really know how it's going to turn out until I go to pull a print. And we will just find out. We will just find out. Say hello if you're there. Let me know that you exist. I apologize for the noise. That's the compressor. It is pouring outside, so I don't want to move the compressor outside or something. I may consider that for future sessions if people enjoy watching. I should probably try live streaming on Twitch. I've heard people really enjoy Twitch a little bit more. If you've been tattooing anti-pop for a long time, then this probably would feel very similar to you. You can hear it buzzing. I've never tattooed, but I've had tattoos. Hello, Juan Garcia. But yeah, this probably is similar to tattooing in some ways. Obviously the substrate, the material is going to behave differently, and there's a learning curve there to how different metals react and how different engraver materials cut metal and different engraver shapes cut metal differently, kind of like different needles, I guess. I don't know. Again, not a tattoo artist. This is pneumatic, but since this is copper, sometimes I actually just push it through the copper because it's so soft, and it can kind of get away from you if you're using the pneumatic hammer. Like right now, these lines I'm doing, I'm really just dragging this bottom tip through the metal. I'm not cutting in with the actual tip. But it's interesting. If this were a harder metal, it would actually be easier to get clean cuts, in my opinion. Copper, I really struggle with getting clean cuts in copper. Everything looks like a kid's drawing to me in copper. And I didn't account for that when I started this project, or else I would have used brass, which cuts just beautifully. Now there is machinable copper, which is a different alloy that is much more rigid, and so it cuts clean. Oh, goodness. This one's foot switch operated, so you can see it's just a very simple tool, and then I can hit the pedal to really push the air through it, and that makes the hammer go inside. And it seems like we're getting lots of disconnections. Let me know if you guys are getting disconnected a lot. It's a real bummer. So I'm actually looking at a picture off to the side that shows me the original drawing I did, so I can compare, like, you know, how I want the shading to go. And then I'm just Juan Garcia, I suspect it's not you. I think it's my connection to the internet. I think it's going up and down. That's why I was asking people about quality. Because my connection, I'm testing this out. This is on Starlink, which is kind of a new thing. And I'm just testing out this connection. And unfortunately, it seems like it is having a lot of small disconnects. And I don't know if that's the Wi-Fi going out into my shop, or if that's my connection to the internet failing, but I keep looking up and seeing that I'm disconnected. Thanks for letting me know you're getting them. That's a big bummer. But I need to know if it'll go smooth, because hopefully I'm going to be doing some streams for my day job. And knowing ahead of time will help me kind of prepare for some breakdowns of the stream. You know, should they happen. Yeah, it keeps dropping. That's a bummer. That's a huge bummer. So let's see, am I still in view? Yep, barely. Let's see here. What am I doing? Looking at my stuff. Yep, okay. I'm adding some shading here, just to give it some depth. And then I feel it for little spiky nubs sticking out, because those are going to tear at the paper and tear at the cloth that I use to wipe off the ink, and that's no good. I don't want those little, oh boy, this one's going to be hard. Oof, I don't like that angle. How can I get to this? That way? Yep. Okay. Oh, that's better. Now the style on this one is kind of a sloppy hand-drawn style, so I'm not really worried about everything being perfect. What gauge plate am I working? Pushed, it would bend like nothing. Let me look here and see. Yeah, I've got another one here. It is, it doesn't say a gauge, but it says 0.021 inches thick. Who measures in inches? My God, I get frustrated with inches. Let's see here. You can kind of see the thickness here compared to my finger. See how flexible it is. Not a great thickness for this, but it'll do. It'd be nice if it was thicker. Let's see, where's my next spot of cross-hatching that I need to do? I'm kind of working my way down from the top. As far as the reciprocation, it's very slight. Kind of like if you remember old pagers, it's like a pager motor. When I first started, my hand would go numb, but part of that was that I was squeezing really hard. And now that I've been doing it for a little while, I've learned to relax, and that really helps considerably with the lot with the vibration numbness. Okay, so I said I'm working from the top down, but I've totally missed some cross hatching here up at the top that I need to do. Well, let's do that. This project is taking me so very long, so extremely long. Oh, my cross hatching isn't lining up. Whoops. Fix that. I want it to line up and be as parallel as possible. It just helps the whole piece kind of feel solid, you know? It's fine to have them going all over the place if you do it everywhere. But if you have them parallel in, 98% of places, then when you go to look at it later, if just a few of them are non-parallel, it really stands out. You know, kind of like if you're gonna break a rule, you gotta follow a bunch of them first. Otherwise, you're just participating in chaos. Are we still connected? We are. We are. Gonna reply to a text here. Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of, if you've ever learned to play an instrument, you probably remember in the very beginning, Juan Garcia mentioned, it's like blacksmithing. If you get the death grip on the hammer and it vibrates your whole arm. Same thing with like guitar, like stringed instruments. People will just death grip on it, and then your hand goes numb. But over time you learn to relax, and as you learn to relax, you get a little bit better at it, more comfortable with it. Okay, how are we doing over here? So I need to shade the top edge here, but I don't like this angle. I want to be going this way into it. So let's zoom out a little bit, and let's line this up. Again, this is just to emulate, little drop shadows on this border. Give it kind of a quasi 3D effect. This project was maybe a bit bigger of a bite than I should have taken from my first printing plate attempt. I probably should have started much smaller and simpler. But in for a penny, in for a pound, right? I don't even know what that means, but that's where I am. All right, we're getting there. We're getting there. Just monotonous work over and over. So what I'm curious about is if my connection dropped, which it has twice, at least twice now, if the people following the link that I put out there initially will still end up at this live one, or if it created a new link every time I reconnected. Let's see here. Antipop says, still waiting on a Crocker sharpening guide and GRS handles. Also want to make printing plates. I haven't done the Crocker, well, I think I have, if that's the simple little bracket one. I use the Lindsay template system. Let's see if I can find one. Oh, they're all in a drawer I can't get to right now. I use the Lindsay system for sharpening. I love it. It's great. It makes my life easy. The GRS tools are kind of the industry standard, so you can't go wrong there. I got like a bootleg from some guy in Vietnam, but I think what it is basically a copy of Steve Lindsay's bench jewel, an illegal copy at that, because Steve owns the patent or something. I suspect that's the system going on, because Steve is not happy about people using these knockoffs, you know. So that's what I think it is. And frankly, it's fine, but I really wish I had more kind of fine control down on the details. I'm looking at my drawing again here. Here's my drawing. I've done this cross-hatching all up here. I think I'm ready to move down to the skull and do some cross-hatching. That's scary, but it's got to be done. It's got to be done. So one thing that's difficult here, I don't know how well you can see, is that my drawing is reversed. So that means that when I look at my reference and then look at this, I gotta flip it all in my mind to organize it all. I think I'm gonna go this way. Yeah. Oof, that's tough. Oh yeah, man, my back feels so much better after using a microscope. The loop was a nightmare. I mean, it worked, but it was a nightmare. Here, you guys want to see through the microscope? Let's see if we can look through the microscope. Oh, it looks so dirty. Ew, ew. I don't see all that. Okay. Oh. So that's how close I can see it. It doesn't want to focus. There we go. That's how close I see it. On the plate down there. Yeah, microscope was like a game changer for me. I mean, I knew that a microscope would help. Everybody told me get a microscope. They were like, dude, you're not gonna even recognize how good it can be. And they're right. All right, cross-hatching on the skull. Here's where I can ruin all this. Let me rearrange here. Okay, so looking at my reference, at the same time, it looks like I've got light cross-hatching through all of this right here. Just light cross-hatching. And I want to match this angle here. So let's just throw one in there. And then here we go. Time to ruin this skull. I'm really hesitant because it looks so pretty right now as it is. And there's always that chance that you could slip and just gouge the whole thing apart or, you know, overdo it. I don't know how this is going to hold ink. I'm assuming, since it's kind of lower resolution than like Intaglio. Reconnected. Oh my goodness. I have no idea how long I was down. I got people asking about microscopes. I've got a whole video on microscopes. If you go back through my YouTube timeline, you'll see a video that breaks down what scope I'm currently using and has links as well as some other information and other magnification that you could use. Boy, there's cross-hatching through all of this. That's looking good. All right. You can see that cross-hatching going in there. And then as I come down into this that's more dense, I'm going to do the cross-hatching much closer together to get some nice shading there. Okay, here we go. The tighter together your crosshatch, the more obvious it is when your lines don't line up. The more obvious it is when your spacing is off, the more obvious it is when your depth isn't consistent. Ooh, doggies. I'm just plowing through it. And I have to kind of stop every once in a while and, you know, back up and look at it to make sure that I'm not slowly like turning the line. Because it'll go in an arc naturally as you move your hand almost. So you have to be real careful. You know, I wish, oh, see, now I'm going too deep. I wish there was some noise or notification I could get when it went offline, because it looks like I was offline for a little while. Again. You know what might be a better way to do this next time? Instead of streaming from the iPad, would be to stream from my laptop with a little webcam I can move around. Because then I could like stick it in the eyepiece and, you know, Put it in different positions. Down under the cheek here, there's shading. When it starts to reduce a little bit. Oh my goodness. Scary times. Scary times doing the crosshatch. Here we go, disconnected again. So I should actually, I almost screwed up. I almost didn't reverse my crosshatching. So we're gonna try again. Boy, it just keeps disconnecting. It's killing me. So this one has kind of a little buffalo-shaped crosshatch. Go down to there. Yeah. And it comes down to here. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I don't know if it got caught earlier. I see y'all are talking about microscopes. I did a whole video on different kinds of magnification available. It's got links. But if you found a cheaper scope that works, then awesome. Use that. I am a cheap bastard. And I like dirt cheap tools that get the job done. And when people tell you you have to have the expensive stuff, well, put it frankly, they're wrong. You know? Alright, and then this kind of has a part that extends down into this cavity here. Actually been learning some of the anatomy names of this stuff. I don't remember this little crevice here. I don't like how abrupt that is, so we're going to add a little bit of grading in there. That's better. All right. Nose time. Oh boy. Okay. So this area in here is really a shadow within a shadow. And there's this vertical line here I gotta kind of avoid. Whew. Okay, now down this side. So it's so easy to screw up the anatomy here. And if I were a smarter person, what I would do is I would go and I would print off my reference again in reverse so that I'm actually looking at the real reference, because I'm just, for no reason, asking myself to do it wrong here. Alright. We're doing okay. We're doing okay. It's scary, but we're doing okay. Alright. Other eye socket is really dark. Gotta match my angle here. Kind of a shallower area there. Just a little bone spur. But then the rest of this socket is pretty open, which means it needs some serious shading. Oh, goodness. Goodness. Woo. That's some tough stuff. Those lines, oh, they're difficult. And the eyes especially, when you first look at the image, the final print, people have a tendency to look at eyes. So if there's any super crooked lines in the eyes, they're going to notice them right off the bat. And we don't want that. Now we're getting there. Now we're getting there. Okay. So I've done cross-hatching here, 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 here. I want to do a little bit in here. Kind of a light hatch. A little bit further spaced apart, just to add a little bit of depth in there. And then I need to do this side over here, which is just a tiny bit Try to match my angles. Thank you. Just a little bit of depth. And then these spots under here, way under here, under the jaw and the back, those need to be dark. Like mega dark. We're gonna get some pretty intense cross hatching here. Oh, I should have started it this way. Okay. So what I'm doing really here, the whole purpose is just to create channels for the ink to sit down in, and then the paper will kind of pull it out of those channels. So obviously the more cross hatching I have in one area, the darker it will be. I mean, so since this is my first real printing plate though, what I don't know is what the difference between my cross hatching and these deep channels is going to be like. If it's just going to be a muddy mess. You know? What I do know now though is that my internet connection is a pain in the ass for streaming still. Which is, you know, a bit of a bummer. I was hoping once I got Starlink that streaming would be suddenly perfect. But unfortunately, it is not. Let's zoom way in there and see if we can capture what I'm doing. Real tight cross hatching. You know, if I was smart and I had streamed from my phone instead of my iPad, then I could mount it to an eyepiece and you could actually see through the microscope while I'm working. But alas, I am not smart. So the skull is now cross-hatched. Woo! That's a relief. That is a relief. But I still have to cross-hatch everything else. Alright. Let's go over here to this sucker. We need some cross-hatching. I'm doing this is somewhat meditative. You know, some of it I can just get brainless and just groove along. That's kind of nice. I don't have to worry about like if it's super entertaining. I can just cut lines for an hour. All right, hand plane is cross-hatched. Oh, beautiful. I don't know about you guys, but I am getting excited about this plate. I think if I could get this cross-hatching done this weekend, I could be, excuse me, I could be pulling a print tomorrow or next weekend maybe. And then, you know, I'm not sure, but I suspect once I try to pull a print off of this, I'm going to need to go back and refine some things probably. Sewing machine, cross-hatched. Bam! Next project, engraving a Rolex? Probably not. My skills, especially at that scale, are not particularly high quality, and that's just a huge risk. Like, if I screwed it up, then it's just a big risk for me. Maybe if I had like an old beat up Rolex that was mine, but I'm not ready to take on a Rolex yet of somebody else's. You know, that'd be a shame to ruin something like that with a bad engraving. You know, and hey, I still do bad engravings. I'm definitely not a professional yet. All right, we got some shading here. Let's get some. Add some depth to that shadow. We got shadows under here. That's the missing tooth. Gotta be dark in there. Yeah, maybe for, yeah, a Seiko. You know, if somebody wants to send me a watch, I could play around on it, or I may pull out, you know, an old cheap, crappy watch and play around on it. But I need a lot more practice at that style, the scroll work, and that I need some more practice at before I can, you know, feel confident in taking on somebody else's property that's worth a lot of money. Right now, I'm still kind of doing a lot of pocket knives and, you know, kind of lower value stuff that I could replace if I messed it up. I think the most expensive thing I did was maybe like an $800 pocket knife. Let's get some shading on the handle of this manual drill. Going up underneath the teeth of the skull here. Goodness gracious. Goodness gracious. Whew, cross-hatching is, I mean, it's not super difficult, but it is kind of tiring. And again, this is my first real printing plate, so I'm just hoping and kind of educated guessing here that this is going to give the kind of depth to the shading that I want. I don't know for a fact that this cross-hatching is going to transfer the ink that well. I mean, I know it would work if I was doing a wipe on like a knife. Where you leave the ink in the groove. I know that would work here, but I just don't know how well the press is going to be able to get this detail. But you know, I look at intaglio and I think some of those are shallower grooves than this and finer detail than this. So hopefully this carries through. Hopefully. We'll see, I guess. Now I normally would use a vise to hold my work, but this one is so big, and I always need to be working in the center of my point of view and my rotation, which I'm off center here. Here's the center way over here. So this one's just on a rotating pad of rice. Would suck if it didn't. What would I do in that situation? So if it does not transfer the ink to the paper in the way that I like, in the way that I want, what I'll probably do is just clean it up, put ink in it, build a box for it, and maybe auction it off as it is. I kind of imagined maybe putting a mirror, because remember, this is backwards. I kind of imagined mounting this with a mirror opposite of it so you can look at it and see it. And it is pretty. I believe it's a work of art as it is. It would just be really nice if I could pull some prints off of it. We'll find out though, hopefully in a few days, a few weeks, a few months. How am I doing on cross-hatching here? I've got the drill. Drill is cross-hatched for the most part. So this wrench. Ooh, doggies, this wrench is going to be tough. Okay. What are my lines? They're all over the place. Okay, if I want to go this way to match these lines. All right, okay. That's not too bad. That wasn't too bad. It's coming together. Oh, starting to get sloppy. Might mean it's time for a break. Sometimes my lines start to get all wavy and sloppy, and I found that instead of powering through, it is often best to just walk away for a little bit. Of course, they all look sloppy under the microscope. still got that handle to do. Alright, we'll do some more. Now, since I don't do this for a living, I can just walk away and say, you know what? I will come back to you tomorrow or the day after or in 2 weeks when I feel like it, which is kind of a wonderful feeling. I don't have to do this, but I can if I want. Oh boy. Getting close to lunchtime. See, I'm starting to come up with excuses to stop. You catch yourself doing that. And since it's a hobby, what do? Well, you stop. But it's going to bug me if I don't get this handle done first. Gotta be careful though. This is when major screw ups happen, is when you're just like, oh, I just gotta power through this one little bit and then I'll stop. That's when things sneak up on you. Something gets sloppy and you screw it up. I don't think I screwed it up. Okay. Oh, looks like I got disconnected again. So we're going to call that it for today. Did a bunch of cross-hatching in there. Thanks for joining me. And might try this again after I rework my Wi-Fi or something and see if I can't get it with fewer disconnections. See you next time. Bye-bye. Once I find the button to end this. Okay. I don't see a button to kill this. You're welcome, Cass. Oh my goodness, there's no button to kill it. Oh, there it is. Okay.